So let other people can join later. Yeah. So we guys are having the offline as well as the online. So some people are in lines or some are in. So if you are near here, so just try to come to the offline. Okay. Now, so basically, the last session, what we have discussed, so we have discussed about like servers, types of servers, and also we have discussed about like architectures of servers. Right or not? Now, in this class, this was the first session for you as a DevOps engineer. This was the first session for you. And also, if you want to learn the DevOps, if you want to learn the DevOps, first you guys should know about the Linux. What should we know about here? We should know about the Linux. Remember, without Linux, you can't learn the DevOps. Without Linux, you can't learn the DevOps. So see here, as I have mentioned in the last session, server is nothing but a laptop. Server is nothing but what? It's a laptop. So let's say this is my laptop. This is my laptop. So if my laptop needs to run, if my laptop needs to be work, what should I have here? I should have one OS. What should we have here? We should have one OS. So without OS, our laptop will not run. Without OS, our laptop will not even work. Now here my question was like, what exactly the mean of OS? Can anyone? So either you can unmute and yourself, you can answer, or offline people, you can answer, no problem. Online, you guys can able to answer, offline, you can able to answer. So for the online people, directly you are having the unmute access, you can speak. What exactly the OS will do? Let me tell you. Yeah, offline. Hmm. Okay. Let me tell you. So say here, yeah, basically it was a full form. Operating system is the full form. What exactly the OS will do? Let me tell you. So let's say we are the humans, right? As you know, we all are the humans, right or not? So we know number of languages. So we know Telugu, Hindi, Kannada, Malayalam, Tamil. So we know number of languages, right or not? So these all are nothing but what? These all are nothing but the human readable language. But mission, but the server can only understand what? It can only understand the binary level language. It can only understand what? It can only understand the binary level language. So if the human wants to communicate with the mission, if the human wants to communicate with the server, here what should I have? I should have one translator. What should we have here? We should have one translator. Here was translating between the human as well as the mission. So ultimately the OS. So what exactly the meaning of OS now? OS is nothing but which provides the interface between, which provides the interface between the human as well as the mission. Clear for all of you? Ultimately, OS will provide the interface between the human as well as the machine. So let me share the PPT of Linux here. You guys can able to understand. Let me share the PPT of Linux. So see here, Linux. So Linux is free and open source operating system. Linux is an free and open source operating system. Open source operating system with high security. With high security. Let me tell you what exactly the free and open source. What exactly the free and open source. So free is nothing but anyone can access without any pay. So let's say if you are using the Linux, you are not going to pay anything. Open source, anyone can access. I can access, you guys can access, your friends can access, anyone can access. Open source. Open source is nothing but open for everyone. Operating system. Operating system with high security. For the Linux, we are having the very high security. Okay. Next, Linux is multi-user based OS. Linux is multi-user based OS. Now, what exactly the meaning of multi-user based OS? Let me tell you. Let's say this is my Linux server. Let's say this is my Linux server. This is my Linux server. So here multiple users can able to log in at a time. Multiple users can able to connect at a time. So this is nothing but what? Multi-user based. Multiple users can able to log in at a time. Multiple users can able to connect with my server at a time. So this is nothing but what? Multi-user based OS. Next, operating system. What was that? Operating system. So see here, an operating system is a software. An operating system is a software that act as an interface between computer hardware components and the user. An operating system is a software that act as an interface between computer hardware components and the user. Computer hardware components and the user. Now, that's what we have mentioned, right? So ultimately, the OS will provide the interface between the human as well as the machine. So what I have mentioned here, as I have mentioned, like for the humans, we know the Telugu, Hindi, Kannada, Malayalam, Tamil. But the server can only understand what? It can only understand the binary level language. So here, converting the human readable language into, I mean to say, if the human wants to communicate with the machine, if the human wants to communicate with the server, so here ultimately what we are having, we should have one translate. Here translator are nothing but the OS. Next, So after this, we are having the types of OS. So if you guys are using the Windows laptop, you guys are having the Windows OS. If you are using the MacBook, you guys are having the Mac OS. If you are using the Ubuntu as the laptop, you guys are having the Ubuntu OS. So based on the platform, the OS will be vary. Based on the platform, the OS will be vary. If you are using the Windows, you guys are having the Windows OS. If you are using the MacBook, you guys are having the Mac OS. If you are using the Ubuntu as a laptop, you guys are having the Ubuntu OS. Next, after this, Linux OS distributions. What we are having? Linux OS distributions. So we are having the number of distributions. So we are having the Red Hat, Ubuntu, Debian, CentOS, Fedora, OpenSUSE, Kali Linux, Amazon Linux, Rocky Linux. We are having the number of distributions like Red Hat, Ubuntu, Debian, OpenSUSE, Kali Linux, Amazon Linux, as well as the Rocky Linux, as well as the Rocky Linux. So see here, as as a DevOps engineer, at the end, 99.9999% we are going to use the Red Hat, Ubuntu, CentOS, Amazon Linux. These we are going to use. We are going to use like Red Hat, Ubuntu, CentOS, Amazon Linux we are going to use. Okay. So we will cover all these four flavors. We are going to cover the Red Hat. We are going to cover the Ubuntu. We are going to cover the CentOS. We are going to cover the Amazon Linux as well. Next, after this, what we are having? Linux OS architecture. What we are having here? We are having the Linux OS architecture. So in the OS architecture, totally we are having four layers. How many layers we are having in the Linux architecture? We are having the four layers. So the first one is about like it's an hardware. What was the first one here? It's an hardware. Now, what exactly the hardware will do? What exactly the hardware will do? So let's say this is my laptop. This is my laptop. This is my laptop. If we have connected any external devices, so such as printer, such as mouse, HDMI cable, DVD, okay, pen drive. So if we have connected any external devices such as printer, mouse, HDMI cable, DVD. So these all are the external devices, right or not? So these external devices information will store on where? It will store on the hardware. Will store on where? It will store on the hardware. If you have connected any external devices such as printer, HDMI cable, DVD, mouse, so pen drive, any external devices that are connected to your laptop, those information will store on the hardware. Next, after hardware, what we are having? We are having the kernel. What we are having here? We are having the kernel. Now, what exactly the mean of kernel here? What exactly the mean of kernel? So let's say this is my laptop. In my laptop, what I am having? I am having the hardware components. What I am having? I am having the hardware components. Again, in my laptop, I am having some software components. I am having what? Some software components. So here hardware components are in the sense of which we can able to see, which we can able to touch, are nothing but what? It's an hardware components. Again, we are having what? Some software components which we can't see, which we can't see, which we can't even touch, are nothing but what? Some software components. So example is going to be like say keyboard. We can able to see, we can able to touch. Okay, so we are having the CPU. We can able to see, we can able to touch. RAM, we can able to see, we can able to touch. Are nothing but what? These all are the hardware components. So software components are in the sense of we are having some bin files. We are having some bin files. We are having some boot files. We are having some softwares which we can't even see, which can't even touch. These all are nothing but what? These all are nothing but the software components. So, if the hardware components are communicating with the software components, if the hardware components are communicating with the software components, so then only our laptop will work. Otherwise, will not work. Now, who is providing the communication between the hardware components as well as the software components? Ultimately, the kernel. So, kernel will provide the interface between the human as well as the, sorry, kernel will provide the interface between the hardware components as well as the software components that are present on your laptop. Next, after kernel, what we are having here? We are having the shell. After kernel, what we are having? We are having the shell. Now, what exactly the mean of shell here? What exactly the mean of shell? Let's say this is my laptop, right? This is my laptop. In my laptop, I am having the command prompt. I am having what? The command prompt. So let's say we are at what? We are at the access right now. We are at on where? We are at on the access. So I am going to type one command. CD downloads I am going to type. So I will tell you what is meant by CD, what is all these downloads. I will tell you. So then hit enter. The command was executed. You observe? The command was executed. So usually where this command was executing, it was executing on the shell part. So shell is nothing but the place where your commands are executing. The place where your commands are executing are nothing but what? Are nothing but the shell. So after shell, what we are having? We are having the application. After shell, what we are having here? We are having the application. Now, what exactly the mean of application? So let's say this is my laptop. In my laptop, I am having the number of components. So I am having the number of applications. So like VLC Media, Visual Studio Code we are having. So we are having the WhatsApp, Instagram. So we are having the Git Bash. So these all are the applications only, right? So Zoom we are having the GoToMeeting. So these all are the applications only. So usually these all the applications are going to be present on where? It is going to be present on the shell part. Where it was present? It was present on the shell part. So shell is nothing but the place where our commands are executing. The place, sorry, usually where the applications was present, it was applications are present on the application layer. So let me have a quick review about this architecture. So hardware. What is meant by hardware? Hardware are in the sense of, let's say this is your laptop, guys. So see, this is your laptop. So if you have connected any external devices such as printer, mouse, HDMI cable, DVD. So these all are the external devices, right? So these external devices, information will store on the hardware. Where it will store? It will store on the hardware. Next, after hardware, what we are having? We are having the kernel. What we are having here? We are having the kernel. Now, what exactly the mean of kernel? Again, in my laptop, I am having the hardware components. I am having the software components. Hardware components are in the sense of which we can able to see, which we can able to touch, are nothing but what? It's an hardware components. Software components are in the sense of which we can't even see, which we can't even touch, are nothing but what? Software components. So example like keyboard, mouse, RAM. These are all the hardware. Win, boot, software. So these are all the software. So if the hardware components are communicating with the software components, then only your laptop will work. Otherwise, it will not work. Now, who is providing the communication between the hardware components as well as the software components means kernel is the reason. Okay. Next, after kernel, what we are having here? We are having the shell. After kernel, what we are having? We are having the shell. So shell is nothing but the place where your commands are executing. Let's say this is my command prompt. So I'm going to type a command like Siri downloads. This command was executed. Previously we are at the access. Now we are at the downloads. So this command was executed. So usually this command was executed on the shell part. Where it was executed? It was executed on the shell part. So after shell, what we are having here? We are having the application. What we are having? We are having the application. So application are in the sense of the layer where our applications are present. Let's say this is my laptop. In my laptop, I'm having the WhatsApp. I'm having the Instagram. Visual Studio Code I'm having. VLC Media I am having. So usually these all are the applications, right? So these applications was present on the application layer. Where it was present? It was present on the application layer. So clear for all of you about these four layers. So let me go with the online first. Later we will go with the offline. So clear up online. Just to confirm in chat box about these four layers. Perfect. Great. So now observe carefully. If you wanna learn the Linux or if you wanna learn the DevOps tools such as Git, Maven, Docker, Kubernetes, so first thing I should have one server here. What should we have here? We should have one server. Now my question was like, who was providing the server? I mean to say, who will provide the server? Ultimately, the cloud providers. Who will provide me the server? Cloud providers. Cloud providers. So in the market, majorly we are having three cloud providers. How many cloud providers we are having in the market majorly? We are having the three cloud providers. So who are they? AWS, Azure, as well as the GCP. So in the market, majorly we are having how many cloud providers? We are having the three cloud providers. So who are they? AWS, Azure, as well as the GCP. So what is the full form of AWS, guys? Amazon Web Services. So what was the full form of Azure? What is the full form of GCP? Google Cloud Platform. Who was the owner of AWS? It's going to be the Amazon. Who was the owner of Azure? It's going to be the Microsoft. Who was the owner of GCP means it's an Google. So these all are the cloud providers that are available in the market major. Now let's say, this is your mobile. This is your mobile. Okay. So in your mobile, you want to book one more mobile. So there you are going to use the Amazon. Right or not? You want to buy a mobile. Either you are going to use the Amazon or the Flipkart. Right or not? So totally I have decided like I want to use the Amazon. So if I want to book a mobile in the Amazon, first I should have an account in the Amazon. Right or not? Without account, we can't book any mobile in the Amazon. Not only in the Amazon, in the Flipkart as well, in the Zomato as well, in the Swiggy as well. If you want to book anything in any platform, first you should have what? You should have the account. Without account, you can't book any mobile. In the same manner, if you want to create any server, either it is going to be in the AWS, either it is going to be in the Azure, either it is going to be in the GCP. So on the top of it, what should we have? We should have an account. What should we have here? We should have an account. So without account, do we can't learn Linux? Let's say I want to learn Linux. I want to learn the DevOps. So without, I'm not having any account right now. Do we can't learn that one? So ultimately, we can. We can learn the Linux. We can learn the DevOps without account as well. We can learn. No problem. So there is an open source site called Killer Coda. What we are having here? We are having a open source site called, let's say, the Killer Coda. So just try to open your browser and then search for killercoda.com. Okay, just try to search for killercoda.com. So where you can able to practice your Linux, you can learn the Git, you can learn the Maven, you can learn the Kubernetes, or you can learn here. Okay, if you want to learn the Linux here, if you want to learn the Linux Git here. So if you want to learn any certification, you can learn here. So Kubernetes, Docker, Postman, Helm, Argo CD, Istio. So all you can learn from here. So as we are learning the Linux, just try to click on the playgrounds here. Click on the playgrounds. Scroll down where you will get number of options like this. You will get the Ubuntu, Kubernetes. Okay. So CK, CKD, CKS, KNPE. So we are having the number. So just try to click on the Ubuntu. As we are learning the Linux, just try to search for, click on the Ubuntu. So you will, I mean to say, when you are using the Killer Coda, you guys are going to get like authentication. So just try to pass the mail authentication. No problem. It was a secured one only. Okay. Just try to pass your like mail authentication. Just try to use that. No problem. So after logging with your Killer Coda, the UI is going to be like this. So it was coming. Now let's say this is my server. This is my server. So And also I have compared server is nothing but a device. Server is nothing but a laptop. So let's say this is my laptop. So in my laptop, I want to create a file. I want to create a file. How you are going to create? Click on the right click, new, and then file. Click on the right click, new, and then file. So automatically the file will be created. The same manner, this is your killer code. Nothing but this is your server. Remember guys, just try to think like we are not using the killer code. We are using the server. Whatever you are learning here now, so the same thing will be present on the server. There is no even a single difference. Whatever the commands I am going to type now, whatever the things I am going to be performed now, all are the same as on your server. But remember, at the end, we are going to be learn these all in the server itself. Where we are going to learn? We are going to learn all these in the server itself. Right now, we are using the killer code. Why? Because we are not having any account right. So that's the reason we are using the killer code as of now. But in future, we are going to use the servers only. After logging into the killer code, the UI is going to be like this. Now, see here. This is my server. In my server, I want to create a file. What I want to create? Want to create a file. So if you want to create a file, so the command will be touch. With the command to create a file, touch, and then file. I am giving the file name as AWS. What is the file name here? AWS. So then hit enter. The file was created. If you wanna cross verify whether the file was created or not, just try to give the ls. So ultimately, touch is the command to create a file. ls is the command to see the list of files. Let me make the notes for you. Remember guys, don't write any notes while I am in the class. I mean to say while you guys are listening the class. Linux demo. Okay. So touch and then file. Why we use this one? To create a file. Why we use this one? To create a file. ls. So ls is the command to see the list of files. So here what is meant by ls first? ls is nothing but it's a list. ls is nothing but what? It's a list. You can also use the ll. So I am having the AWS. So the moment you have given the ls, it will display only the file name. But the moment you have given the ll, it will display full information of your file. It will display the full information of your file. ll is nothing but it's a long list. It's a long list. Why we use this one? To see the list of files only with the full details. So you can see like the users permissions, group permissions. So everything we are going to discuss all these things. So hyphen RW, hyphen R, hyphen. We are going to discuss. As of now, just try to understand like touch is the command to create a file. ls is the command to see the list of files. Instead of giving the ls, we can also use the ll. If you have given the ls, it will display only the file name. The moment you have given the ll, it will display full information of your LL is nothing but what? It's a long list. Now, completely, this is the way to create the single file. But I want to create the multiple files. I want to create like the DevOps file. I want to create like the Azure file. I want to create like GCP file. Hit enter. Now give the LS. I'm having my files. Azure, DevOps, GCP. You can use the LL as well. Azure DevOps GCP to create the multiple files. Touch file name space file name space file. Why we use this one? Create to create multiple files. To create multiple files. So if you want to create the series of files, let's say I want to create TCS1, TCS2, TCS3. It means series of files I want to create. So I can create 5 files, I can create 10 files by using touch TCS1 space, TCS2 space, TCS3 space. I can use that one. But what if I want to create 30 files? What if I want to create 50 files? What if I want to create even 100 files? We can't use the space right. So that's the reason there is a syntax like touch the series that you want to create. I want to create the series like TCS. Open the braces, 1 double dot 10. 1 double dot 10. It was created. Now give the ls. I am having TCS 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So remember, here dots should be not more than that, not less than. So why we use this one? To create TCS 10 files. To create what? The TCS 10 files. So see here, let's say, let's say, by mistakenly you have given single dot. First, HCL 1 single dot 10. What will happen then? It will create a file by using that. It will create a file by using that name. Let's say by mistakenly you have given triple dot. So then what will happen? It will create a file by using that name. Here dots should be 2, not more than that, not less than. See, totally I am going to give 2 dots. Now give that. I am having the HCL 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Not more than that, not less than that. Here dot should be 2. Okay. Let me, yeah. Completely, this is the way to create the single file, multiple files, as well as a series of files. Now, I want to remove a file. I want to remove a file. So, if you want to remove a file, rm. What is the command here? Rm. Rm is nothing but remove. We are removing AWS file. Hit enter. Previously, if I have given the ls, I am having the AWS file. But now give the ls. Do we have any AWS file here? There is no AWS file. So rm Azure. Previously, if I have given the ls, we are having the Azure file. The moment if I have removed the Azure, we are not having any Azure file now. Okay. So I want to remove the series. I want to remove the multiple files. I want to remove the DevOps file. I want to remove the GCP file. I want to remove the HCL one file. Hit enter. It was removed. Verify that. There is no DevOps file. There is no GCP file. There is no HCL1 file. If you observe, there is no DevOps, GCP, HCL1. We have removed. So what is the command? Don't write. Don't write. I will rm file. I will use this one to remove. Okay. So if you want to remove the multiple files, rm file name space file name space file to remove multiple files. To remove multiple. Next, if you want to remove the series of files, if you want to remove the series of files, rm the series that you want to remove. I want to remove the TCS, RM, TCS star, RM, TCS star. So the moment if I have given the star, give the ls, there is no TCS. So remember, star is nothing but it will represent as all, every. Star will represent what? All, every. We are removing every TCS file. We are removing all the TCS file. So star will represent what? All. RF, TCS, star. Why we use this one? To remove all the TCS, all the TCS files. RM, HCL star. What will happen? We will remove all the HCL files. Instead of giving the HCL, you guys can give the HC star. What will happen? Remove all the files that are starting with the HC. Instead of giving the HC, you can give the H star. Remove all the files that are starting with the H. Star will represent what? All. Yes. There is no files. Okay. So completely, this is the way to remove the file, single file, multiple files. So there are so much. Star will represent what? Say touch, AWS, DevOps, ACP, Azure. Okay, so I have created like this. Instead of giving the name, I want to remove all the files at RM star. Instead of using the names of your files, you want to remove all the files. All will represent what? I mean, this star will represent what? All. It will remove all the files. Give that. There is no files. Okay. Next. So I'm clear for all of you. I think these notes was clear, right? Clear, right? These notes. So clear. That's perfect and then clear. Now observe carefully. Let me have a quick review what we have discussed in this class. In this class, we have discussed about the Linux architecture. So in the Linux architecture, totally how many layers we are going to have? We are going to have the 4 layers. So what are they? Hardware. Now, what exactly the hardware? So if you have connected, once again explain the last commands. Sure. So usually RM TCS star. So star will represent all. Star will represent what? All. So we are removing all the TCS files. So you have given the name. It will remove the TCS files. But instead of giving the file name, you wanna remove all the files. RM removing star. Star will represent what? All the files. It will remove all the files. Clear now? Achha. That's perfect. Now, so let me have a review here. What we have discussed in this class. So in this class we have discussed about like Linux architecture. In the Linux architecture, so totally we are having what? The 4 layers. So what are they? The first one was like it's an hardware. Now what exactly the meaning of hardware? If you have connected any external devices, let's say this is your laptop, you have connected the printer, you have connected the mouse, you have connected the HDMI cable. This all the information will store on the hardware. Where it is going to be stored? It's going to be stored on the hardware. Next, after hardware, what we are having? We are having the kernel. So, what is meant by kernel here? Again, this is your laptop. in your laptop, you are having some hardware components. You are having some software components. So hardware components are in the sense of which we can able to see, which we can able to touch. Software components are in the sense of which we can't even see, which we can't even touch. If the hardware components are communicating with the software components, then only your laptop will work. Otherwise, it will not work. Who was providing the communication between the hardware components as well as the software components? So ultimately, the kernel. Next, after kernel, what we are having? We are having the shell. So till now we have performed number of commands, right? These all the commands was executing on the shell part. And also remember, if your screen was filled, just try to use the Control L. It will clear your screen. Or you can type clear. CLE, yeah, clear. It will clear your screen. Control L. At a time. Control plus L. Control L. Okay. So clear. Control L or you have to type the clear to clear the screen. Okay. Next. Where it was executed on the shell. So after shell, we are having the application. We are going to host the application as well. So how the applications are going to be hosted on the server, I will tell you at the end. I mean, say not at the end. So we will see in upcoming classes. Later, we have discussed about some commands in the Linux as the day one. So if you observe here, the Linux day one, what we have discussed, touch and then file name. Why we use this one? To create a file. If you want to cross verify, give the ls. What is meant by ls? List. Why we use this one? To see the list of files. Instead of giving the ls, we can also use the ll. Ll is nothing but what? It's a long list. Why we use this one? To see the list of files with full details. Next, if you want to create the multiple files, so touch file name space file name space file name. It will create the multiple files. So if you want to create the series of files, so touch the series that you want to start with, open the braces 1.10 to create the thesis 10 files. So if you want to remove a file, rm and then file name to remove the file. So if you want to remove multiple files, so this is the command, and then if you want to remove the series of files, so this is the command. So star will represent all. So if you want to clear your screen, Control L or clear. Okay. So clear for all of you? So online. So guys, so that's it from my end for today. So if you are having any doubts over the session, you can ask. Any doubts from this class online? So I will share the video as well as the notes with you. And also we will share the PPTs as well. So over the drive, so you can get it from the. Okay. So I will share save this one as a Linux day one on the desktop. So tomorrow we are going to be continue. Don't write any notes, we will provide them. Okay. So if you are having any doubts, you can ask, or if you want to talk anything, you can talk. No problem. That's perfect. Great. So, okay then. Bye all. Have a nice day. So see you on the next session. So we are having the tomorrow as well. So just try to attend the classes regularly. If you are near here, so just try to come to the offline. So we'll see you on the next session. Bye all. Have a nice day.